Here we go. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 439. Yeah, 439. And this one we are reviewing 4 episodes this time. Oh yes, unlike the last several times, basically I've used like 2 or 3. This time I'm reviewing 4. And with these 4 episodes, to finish watching, I'm officially on break from ToQger. But let's talk about these episodes. So, in these 4 episodes, 27 introduces a concept known as Hyper, where it's basically about this train, and they go to another shadow town again, first time since episode 24, and we debut a brand new character here in this episode. Yep. You're thinking, who made his debut? Who made a debut this episode? A woman by the name of Machonius Mark. Yes. Who apparently is somebody who the Emperor did know from the past. It's this woman who was very rude, and also, I should point out though, the monster from episode 24, the Overseer from that one, yeah, that one's actually one of her monsters. And here's the interesting thing when it comes to her. She has overall in the whole series 5 monsters. Her first one pops up in 24. Second one pops up in her debut episode 27. Her next one is pop up in episode 37. And kind of in a way, she kind of acts like her own general. She basically is like... So, it's like they go to a town and they battle the next monster. Next one basically of the monsters this episode, who is under the name of Keeper Bishop, who was in charge of another shadow town, and who's got a bit of a split personality. Yes, where he talks like 2 different voices. Eventually he's able to defeat it anyways, but it is just a... I would say it's mostly a bit of plot development, this one. And then for 28, this one doesn't feature any shadow monster. You're like, really? Yeah, first time since episode 23, we had no shadow monster. And I believe this is only the... Up the top of my head, I believe this is only the 5th episode of the whole series where we had no monster. You're like, really? Oh yeah, really. Mostly put, Madame Noir herself basically goes out. Her whole thing is that she uses feathers for her amusement. And of course, mentioned about the whole thing with Greta. I'm like, how come the girls haven't noted the fact that Madame Noir is very pretty? Yeah, very pretty for someone who, like, who's basically one of the Shadow line. And, well, she briefly was right. It's mostly her doing her own thing just because she's bored. At least she's not knitting this time. Also, she declares Schwartz and Zerum be traitors, despite the fact that Zerum left them. Schwartz was basically banished. So, by the way, at the end of episode 28, we do see briefly in 28, we see Schwartz where he is found his cleaner and go off basically in the next episode, which I'll get to that. But the most important thing about 28, aside from the fact of featuring Shadow Monster, is the Rangers get to fight Madame Noir again. First time since, like, I think, like, episode, like, 11. That was the last time they fought her. But at least she's by herself, not with Baron Nero this time. Yeah. 29 is a big kind of plot development episode. So, Schwartz helps him out fight off against a monster who is, I kid you not, he is Baron Nero's third to last monster in the entire series. Bottle Shadow. He does have one pop up in episode 31 and 32, and after that, he is out of monsters. Yeah, he's done. Just like Miss Greta. And at that point, it's basically all about Madame Noir for a while. You're like, really? Yes, really. It's mostly about her monsters for a little while. Because what I can tell you, which the monsters pop up for many episodes, is at first it's Nier having his last two monsters, and then we have Noir having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 monsters, only missing like 2 episodes, 35 and 37. 37 is one of Mark's monsters. 35, I don't think features a monster. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, 35 is the one that features a monster. And then, like, you probably think, okay, what episode features the last official Monsters series? Well, after 39, what I can tell, it looks like there's no monsters until episode 43, 44. And then we have one monster in episode 46. And that's pretty much it when it comes to that part. Yeah. Though briefly, episode 27, where Akira basically, he actually goes into Shadow Town, and he briefly turns back to his shadow form. So 29 Schwartz ends up basically helping fight his battleship, also having an alliance with the ToQgers, and at one point having lunch, and of course, your revenge against basically Zed, probably killing Miss Greta, and which this is probably the second time she's mentioned since her death back in episode 23. I think Baron Nero could give a damn, but Madame Noir, it was her daughter, and she's basically reluctantly working with the Emperor because she wouldn't die. Schwartz basically was one of revenge, and apparently this whole trusting thing was just so he can take Akira's drill, which also stops from going to Shadow Town. So basically, after freeing 2 towns, they can't free anymore because he still wants revenge against Zed. And Schwartz is gone for the next. He's actually absent for the next episode. But I do like 29. It's been good plot development that one. 30. This feels like filler. This one. This is gonna be the first of. Excuse me, for the next 10-ish episodes. Madame Noir has. This is the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. Yeah, she basically has more monsters at this point than when the series started. Though in the case of episode 30, this episode's first monster she's had is episode 14. Though yes, Baron Nero will have next 2 episodes for himself, she will have pretty much rated episodes until episode 39. But hey, at least features monsters. Yeah. Yeah. But in the case of 30, okay, so the story here is that, ToQger remembers Mio's birthday being September 28th. Okay, interesting. Aside from the fact we figured that out, the whole thing is trying to get her make a birthday cake. The really bad villain plot of the over-the-topness here. Let's put wigs on the Rangers and put chicks' nests. And they try to raise them quickly and become chickens. It's a bizarre storyline. The Mio stuff, I think the Mio and ToQger stuff was really good. At one point, when Melody the Monsters were at the end of the episode, they have Mio use her hyper form. It just takes away from the right. And she ends up sharing it with Mio. Yeah, it's one of the most weirdest things. In case you're curious, though, Is this the only episode she features? Well, I should point out though, she does not do the hyper thing until Super Sentai Strongest Battle, Final Battle. So that is the next special time that they actually use the damn thing. Or that she does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in case you're curious though, who uses because Wright uses it in episode 27. Basically also can summon basically like, so we see him use it first time in 28. It's him again. In 29 it's basically Akari, where he is, well, using it the first time, and it's Kagura's turn. But I would say not a lot happens. But in some of these episodes, I would say you could think of noteworthy episodes for these ones is 27, 29, and a little bit of 28. 30 is mostly filler. Yeah, that's the only problem with the episode. I would say the 4th, this one feels like filler. Because it doesn't advance the story at all. It just has development for like one character, that being Kagura. Who's a good character like her and Mio. But if you think of any episodes that feature any plot development, I would say it's mostly 27 and 29. 28 is a little bit, mostly. Yeah. But not much to say about these 4 episodes. So that's pretty much it. This particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, I'm gonna head out to eat, and when I get back, I'm gonna go ahead and watch one of my 3 anime, basically 2 of whom basically I have to say. Thanks for you. Bye.